People go crazy for Henry McKenna 10, but here's 5 single barrels I think are better. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Bourbon Hutch, and thanks so much for joining me on this journey through the world of whiskey. So recently in my whiskey journey, I've been reflecting a lot on certain buys that I've had that haven't panned out the way I wanted. And unfortunately, Henry McKenna 10 single barrel is one of those buys that I regret a little bit. I really had high hopes for how good this would be, given how much hype there is around the bottle, and it's one that I just thoroughly don't enjoy. It might be that my single barrel is particularly lackluster, although I've heard a lot from comments of people on the videos that I make and just from the whiskey community at large that Henry McKenna can be pretty hit or miss. Some barrels might be fantastic, but a lot of them are, nothing special. So that made me think, what in my collection, what that I have tasted, especially in that single barrel category, do I like more than Henry McKenna? Do I gravitate more toward? Would I spend more money on and hunt down? So I put together a list of 5 of those bottles that I think do trump Henry McKenna. Do want to preface this by saying, it's easy to denigrate the brand of certain bottles that get a lot of hype because they're hard to find. But for me, just honest opinion here, these 5, which are probably a little bit easier to find at times, most of the time, I think they're better. Let's dive into the list now. Let's jump in. So bottle number 1 is going to put us in that category of easiest to find and a great alternative to Henry McKenna that I think is consistently better. And that is just a regular old Knob Creek single barrel. So you're typically getting something 9 to 10 years old. In this product, it's at 120 proof, yep. So 20 proof points higher than McKenna. Gonna add a little bit extra pizzazz and punch to it. And for me, the profile just of that richer peanut, vanilla, brown sugar note, I'd take that over the McKenna, consistently for sure. And there is the off chance that you get one of those Knob Creek single barrels that is older than 10 years, maybe 11, 12, 13, though my understanding is those are virtually impossible to find these days. But still, just this old regular $55 to $60 bottle in most places, pretty much widely available. I'd say go for that over Henry McKenna for sure. All right, next on the list is a classic single barrel product from a well-regarded distillery that pretty much everybody loves, and that is Russell's Reserve Single Barrel. So I've highlighted it on the channel, I reviewed it. It's phenomenal, full of brown sugar and sweet cinnamon, just vanilla, cherry, full frontal assault of great bourbon here. Unfortunately, the price for me, or especially around me in Kentucky, has gone up quite a bit. I'll see these more consistently for $85 or $90. There are still some pockets of the world where they're still $65, so at that price, an absolute buy. Even at $85 to $90, I think it's a pretty quality purchase as well. And again, point of this video is I would take this over Henry McKenna every single day of the week. All right, the next bottle on our list actually is really a 2-for-1, and 2 of the bottles on this list kind of go together, so we'll highlight them together. But for these, slightly harder to find, but really, really good stuff. And that is Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Barrel Proof Bourbon and Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Barrel Proof Rye. So in particular, the rye is a newer release, came out in 2023 and is still harder to find. It's definitely not populating shelves as much, but the single barrel bourbon is really, really good. High proof, high octane stuff that sits on shelves. People pass this up. And to me, you're getting something usually in that 130 proof range, rich, dark, well-rounded, full force flavors on both of these. The bourbon and the rye. Even the rye for me, I just opened it up and experienced it. It tastes similar to the bourbon. It's more of a high rye bourbon profile, but really, really good stuff. And honestly, for $70-ish, which sometimes is what you're gonna be paying for McKenna, at least when I see it on shelves, that's usually around the price point, 70-ish bucks. These two, I would take either one of these over the Henry McKenna that I have. All right, and last but not least gets us a bottle that is even more affordable, pretty findable, and honestly kind of goes under the radar, and that is Baker's 7. So I have a Baker's 7 that is actually 8 years old and 7 months. So definitely keep your eye out for how old these are, because sometimes you can get quite a bit older than 7 years. For me, this is like cherry cola, very rich syrupy kind of experience with good vanilla as well, and oak. It is, in many ways, what I kind of imagine a Henry McKenna might be if it was really quality stuff. I think that Baker's 7 kind of flies under the radar at that like $65 mark and is really, really good. Really nice profile. And compared to the Henry McKenna, I mean, I gravitate toward the Baker's more, and I would be more inclined to purchase another one of these to experience the sort of single barrel effect than to buy another Henry McKenna for sure. All right, everybody, that's gonna do it. That's the list. We've got 5 bourbons, 1 rye actually, so I cheated a little bit, but that I ultimately think each of these is better than Henry McKenna. They're bottles that I would highly recommend you check out. And if you're having trouble finding McKenna and it's one of those on the top of your list, maybe this makes you rethink, like, one of these bottles here maybe deserves a spot higher on your list to go out and get next. So let me know in the comments below what you think. What would go on your list of anything better than Henry McKenna? Maybe McKenna's one of your favorites. Let me know that too. And then while you're at it, would love to have you aboard as a subscriber for the rest of 2023 and beyond. Trying to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so that is the new goal. Would love to have you join us. And then hit that like button on the video to get it out to more people. And again, put in the comments below your opinions on this list and what will your own list be. Till I see you guys again for another video, all I can say is keep drinking good whiskey and cheers.